Hey everyone, welcome back to the Poplar Report. Bear Independence Refuge Medical has come out with a new bucket, a surgical bucket, and I'm going to do a review of this thing like only I do, which is going through every single item and going on Amazon, seeing if I can replicate it for cheaper myself. And the answer again, like the wound care bucket, the answer is no, I can't. I can't replicate it myself, even with a whole bunch of labor, for the same price that Bear Independent and Refuge Medical is able to produce these surgical buckets. A lot of these items you can get on Amazon, but if you buy them all up yourself, even if you're buying in bulk, you end up actually behind as compared to if you just buy the bucket itself. So that's the spoiler part of it. If you want to get a surgical bucket for yourself, for your family at home. And we'll talk about some of the reasons why you might want to do that. You can find the pinned comment down below. Make sure you use the code POPLAR, as in the tree, Poplar. That gets you 10% off. That makes it comparably priced to if you were to buying everything off Amazon yourself and did all the work yourself. But as you'll see, there's a lot of stuff in this bucket. Now, I've already torn apart the bucket because magic of TV. So the bucket is open. The bucket does come sealed, so I had to tear open the bucket itself, and you'll get it actually sealed. But the short of it is, I'm not going to walk you through the prices of everything, but if you add up the prices of all these things on Amazon, or in a few cases like things for like peroxide, you wouldn't want to buy these off Amazon, you just get them from Walmart. Peroxide or alcohol, you just want to get those off Walmart, and so I use those type of prices. So bare minimum retail pricing. And also some of these products I wasn't able to replicate exactly, and so you're getting better quality because these are medical grade stuff out there, as opposed to some of the stuff that I was pricing in were more like veterinarian and those type of things. So this bucket does come in at $330, 10% off if you use the code. That gets it right to $300. It is an investment. I'm not going to lie to you there. It is an investment. The wound care bucket runs at $135 if you use the Poplar code, and that is a smashing deal. It's got a lot of gauze, a lot of medical grade sterilized stuff, great stuff. It's that's you probably want to get that first. That's a no-brainer. Definitely want to get that first as medical. But if you have one of those wound care buckets, or if you want to kind of leapfrog over the wound care bucket, you might want to go straight to the surgical bucket. But this is buying tons and tons of different supplies that you would need, or that a surgeon would need in order to do a basic surgery. You need alcohol because you need to be able to sterilize stuff. Peroxide, same kind of reasoning there. It comes with a basic headlamp because, of course, you need light. A surgeon would need very good lighting in order to see what they're doing. You got some emergency blankets in there to keep somebody warm, especially if it's cold. And as people are in surgery, they could be in shock, and that's important to have them stay nice and warm. The 100 nitrile gloves. You can buy boxes of these things. This is actually sealed up better than most boxes are because it is in a Ziploc bag that's made to last. Keep that out of UV lighting so that it lasts longer, of course. But it'd be still sealed in your bucket, so you'd be all good there. Abdominal pads, not abominable pads, abdominal pads are to stop bleeding and to bandage somebody up. A lot of times if you're looking at like an appendix or something like that, you're going to need some big bandage to go over that. So it comes supplied with that. And then it comes with like a lifetime supply of woven gauze sponges. And that is definitely a lot there. These are 4x4 sponges. So tons and tons of those. which in a surgery, you need that, you know, after the fact and everything. And then, because you may not need all those 4x4s, you might need some 3x3s. You got 3x3s in there too. You do have a disposable skin stapler. I always recommend having a skin staplers out there because this is what surgeons use. Now this is for practice only and for veterinarian type purposes if you buy it on Amazon. But you'll notice from a medical supply company, this is the exact same thing that you get out there. Once again, I'm pricing all these things like if you just buy all these things off Amazon yourself, and it still ends up being cheaper if you go. So I priced it out to right at $295-ish. But there's some things that I didn't like put into the calculation, like all the Ziploc bags. And then we're not talking about the time either. So when you start talking about time and knowing what to put in the bucket, it's a smash grab bargain. Definitely want to do that. These are number 22 scalpels, I believe. Gamma radiation sterilized single-use scalpels. Then there's like number 10 scalpels somewhere around here. Everything can't stay on the table. We'll go straight to an irrigation. So basically, you need to have wound care, wound solution. This stuff's actually pretty pricey. This is the Vanchi wound solution. That stuff is actually quite expensive. Surprisingly so. I mean, you're looking at like, I think, what was it, 20, I can't see it on my notes. So it was like over 20 bucks, I think. So you're definitely looking at a bit for that, and that's something you really need. That is designed to go into wounds, and you need to get it in there with a syringe. And this is medical grade syringe. And that's the nice thing about this too, is a lot of the stuff you get off Amazon is not going to be medical grade. And so having stuff that is medical grade is better, obviously. You have liquid skin. Now, I was originally thinking that you could just get by basically using super glue. But the more I looked into that, apparently there are basically regular super glue will actually create formaldehyde, and you don't want that in your bloodstream. You can do it, and people do it, but it's not good. And especially if you have any kind of a larger wound, or if you have other medical issues, you don't want to do that. So this is basically medical grade super glue that not just medical grade, but it also has a slightly different formulation, so it doesn't have any of the toxic stuff that produces the formaldehyde and stuff. And you got steri strips in there too, a whole bunch of those. And then with this bucket, I mean, there's nothing to stop you from looking through it. I don't know, maybe you want to keep it sealed up. But if you want to look through it, or at least look through the list of things, and I'm showing them all to you right now, you can just go ahead and buy some extras. I'm already actually thinking about doing that. There was already a couple things as I was looking through Amazon, like some of the, I didn't realize how cheap the blades were and stuff like that for some of these things are actually really dirt cheap. These disposable, disposable scalpels are actually quite cheap. So I was like, why not get a couple boxes of those, right? Then you got the Easy Scrub. This is surgical scrub. So if you don't have running water, apparently you can just use these things to clean your hands super well before doing any type of surgery, whether it's on a pet or elsewise. But those things aren't really expensive at all. So you can get more of those if you want. Iodine, this stuff's not very expensive either. You know, it's just like the peroxide. You know, that's dime a dozen kind of stuff. So little things that you wouldn't think about, like I wouldn't think about, like a sharps container. How much is this? The sharps container is like $1. Okay, so I mean, you got lots of things in this bucket that you wouldn't normally have, and you wouldn't think about, but like, where do you put your scalpels afterwards? You know, so you don't like slice somebody open or something like that. Sharps container, and you know, you're not getting charged much for these things. Super cheap stuff, but yet super important. Biohazard bags. You probably don't have biohazard bags, but yet you need them, right? So that you don't put things in the wrong place. I actually didn't even price these at all. So those aren't even in my calculation. Sterile cotton balls, I didn't even price those. There's just there too. Just lots of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily think about. This is disposable number 10 scalpels. These things are dirt cheap. Might want to stock up on some more of those things as well. Again, so that other people can use them, or maybe you can use them. But I mean, they're like, scalpels are like, they're less than $1 a piece. They're less than $1 a piece, which I wouldn't think that, but I guess hobbyists use them for all sorts of stuff too. So apparently, you know, the medical professions, they go through tons and tons of these things. So they're all over the place right now. But in a grid down situation or a serious economic collapse or something like that, if the production facilities go down or whatever, you know, they might suddenly get kind of scarce. Antibiotic cream, you can get those things anywhere. But once again, all of this stuff in one big kit. Medical tape. Like I'm saying, is that, and we're going to get to some of the stuff that's actually a bit more pricey. Stuff like the wound care solution is pricey, but the tape. So most of this bucket is full of stuff that's relatively cheap, that you could get on your own, but would you? Would you? Do you have these things? You probably don't. Do you have a whole bunch of scalpels laying around? Probably not, right? So that's exactly the point. They're doing the thinking for you here, and you can't get it cheaper yourself anyway. And then we got a surgical instruments kit. This is a minor surgery kit. I got these things floating around on Amazon. Got forceps and scissors and all sorts of different tools, plus a scalpel holder in there. Lots of different things like that. And so I know you may go on Amazon and you're like, I can get these things over here. You can't get them as cheap as you can in this bucket. So that's the thing that I keep saying over and over again. When you start looking at a lot of the gauze pads and stuff like that, while it is pretty cheap, you need tons and tons of this stuff. Lots of stretch gauze, something that I'd never even thought about before, but large pads as well. And this is the bag. I guess this is sort of a kit on Bear Independent, on Refuge Medical, so you might be able to find that over there. But this thing's got a lot of the pricier stuff in it. So a lot of the stuff I just showed you was just not all that expensive, but you save a lot by buying in bulk. Some more tape, medical tape, some more, you know, stretch gauze, good stuff. Forceps, more forceps. You have some in the medical kit there already, which is good. But even more forceps. Sorry, they're falling out of the bags. Some curved ones as well, and then some stainless steel scissors and such. Now, you may be looking at all that and going, well, it's not sterilized, but they come with a bunch of alcohol swabs and prep pads and such that you can sterilize the utensils with before you go and operate on it. I was surprised as I was pricing things out. One of the biggest expenses is actually your sutures. So the sutures itself, these things are pretty pricey, and when you have a whole giant stack of them, you're actually looking at about $80 worth of sutures right there. And that's assuming, as I did, I was getting veterinarian sutures on Amazon. And so these are not veterinarian sutures. These are medical grade sutures. And that is a pricey chunk right there of what you're paying for in the bucket. And if you don't have sutures, like what kind of a surgery is that going to be if you can't even get people buttoned up? These are surgical blades to go on the surgical the suture. All of the blade handles. You need blades to go with that. More surgical sponges and such. You have another handle for another scalpel. Those are important. And then you go through the gauze sponges, large size sponges. So, but these, something I never really thought about is surgical drape. So basically you want to put this around the operating area, right? You cut it and whatever, so that you can, you're not spilling stuff all over and you're not contaminating the skin around it. Is not contaminating the wound. So as you open up, you have the drape around it. So a surgical drape, never really thought about that. So all that said, why would you want a surgical bucket? Are you preparing to do surgery? Probably not. I'm not a surgical person either. In fact, I don't know if I could handle it. I don't like blood and I'm pretty squeamish. So why would I want to have a surgical bucket? And we can all ask ourselves that question. In a grid down situation, or if you need medical care, getting a medical person to your home is going to be one part of the battle, but then supplying them with all the things that they need in order to do a minor surgery, where are those supplies going to come from? Now, if you already have the supplies in your home and you can just give them this, the space and the equipment and the supplies, they're probably going to be much more willing to help you out in return for some food or for whatever you end up bargaining with. Or if you have people on your team or people that you know that have medical experience, they can do things. But what if they're not prepared? What if they don't have enough supplies? If they don't have enough supplies, friends, because it's all at their office that just got raided and pillaged and whatever, you may be out of luck. But at the same time, when you're thinking this through, is like someone has actual knowledge of what they're doing, and what would a surgeon need if they were to do a minor surgery or an outpatient surgery in your home? What would they need? What kind of equipment would they need? What kind of supplies would they need? And having all of that available to you means that all you have to do is bring in the person, or in the worst case scenario, you may have to learn your way through the procedure yourself through books or through whatever supplies you have. If you have videos that are saved offline, if the internet is down. But all this to say, this is a high recommend for me. Bear Independent and their team over there are fantastic. They are also doing a $1,000 giveaway worth of gear. You can check their site out over there. If you make a purchase and then you post about it on social media, you'll see the requirements there. But if you do that, you're entered into the $1,000 giveaway thing, and that's fantastic. Also, all this stuff is guaranteed for life. which Amazon will guarantee things for like 2 weeks. After that, you're out of luck, right? So having that guarantee behind you makes this really, really worthwhile. If you're going to make an investment in your family's health in the future, definitely want to have that guaranteed. And then also another thought too is Bear and all the folks over there, they are investing into the Caleb House, right? They do a fantastic job with bringing people back who have been abused and have suffered many things in life. You can go look into that yourself. I won't get into all of that, but then also they do disaster relief. And so you're supporting that. You're supporting American business. Bear and his folks are fantastic people over there. And so I'm giving a thumbs up on the whole thing. If you have the ability to go out there and purchase this, or whether you need to save up in order to get that, the coupon code Poplar is apparently going to be operating for the foreseeable future, so that will knock 10% off of the bucket price for you. And so if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments down below. I've sifted my way through the whole thing, and it's a very impressive bucket. And I can't highly recommend the wound care bucket as well. So definitely think about those things. How are you prepared for medical emergencies in your home or medical emergencies from your home? That's a lot to think about, but thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video, there's one right up here. Please forgive my boom right back here. That's in order to get the overhead video shots. And I will see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.